Hello everyone, I found the remnants of the Titanfall Collector's Edition statue. I'm going to proceed to assembling the statue. I do scour through the packaging in order to find the soldiers, and I'm going to assemble them on the base of the statue. So I'm going to mount them to the statue, I'm going to place them into the peg holes, and I'm going to finish assembling the Titanfall Collector's Edition statue, since by default it has not finished assembling. In other words, you're confined to manually assembling the Titanfall Collector's Edition statue, even if you purchase it used via Amazon. So let me refrain from talking and ranting and raving, and let me pursue the assemblation of the statue. Alright, so we have a soldier. He may be a marine, who knows. I'm not well acclimated with the Titanfall protagonist. I've yet to indulge in playing the game. You can mount him to the bottom of the statue, I believe. I'm not 100% sure where he's supposed to be mounted. I'm just going to willy-nilly it. Okay, so maybe he is supposed to be mounted underneath the mech. So I presume that the mech is his ally. They're working together in order to trounce their adversaries. So take the soldier and just mount him to the base. Place a peg into the peg hole. This process is not intricate, it's not complex, it's not elaborate, it's relatively simplistic. This process is not strenuous. You've got another soldier who appears to be looking up. Mount him to the base as well. Let's find a peg hole. And mount him to the appropriate slot. I'm perplexed, I'm bewildered, I'm baffled. I have no idea where I'm supposed to place this soldier. I've neglected to read the statue's instructions. Now, one of the other soldiers can be kept on top of the mech. I'm willy-nillying this process. Let's actually scrutinize the manual. You can place the background soldier into the post hole. Okay. These pictures are in black and white, so it's quite a strain to read them under these conditions. Actually, let me view a picture of the assembled mech via Firefox. That way I can know where to place the soldiers. I want to place them in their appropriate slots, in their appropriate spots. I want to place the peg holes in their corresponding. No, I want to place the pegs in their corresponding peg holes. So the pegs of the soldiers need to be placed in their corresponding peg slots. Alright, I'm viewing a statue. I'm viewing an image of the statue. You can now see it on my monitor. It's still an enigma as to where I'm supposed to place the soldier. I hope one of the pegs did not break off. I purchased this item used. This figurine is wobbly. Let me swap the positions of these figures. Alright, I'm just going to swap the positions. The one that's in a moving posture, let me place him where the other one used to reside. So he's now mounted to the front of the base. And the crouching soldier is unable to mount to post hole. The issue here is the peg hole is way too large. Let me switch the positions of the soldiers one final time. I believe the peg hole has been tampered with. I purchased these items used via Amazon. Integrity of the peg hole has been compromised rather than remaining unscathed. It's expanded. There's no way for me to contract it without melting it. Oh, here we go. I finally mounted it in an alternative position. It seems to be finished now. Both three soldiers are mounted onto the statue. One of them is mounted directly on top of the mech. It seems as though he's on the cusp of entering the mech, or decimating it. The other two are mounted to the base. They're supposed to emulate soldiers maneuvering through rubble. It's through rocky terrain. The mech is in a forward posture. The mech looks as though he's on the cusp of proceeding forward. You do not need to utilize rubber bands to mount this enemy soldier to the mech. It was a peg. You just may need to find the peg hole. Actually, maybe he's rubber bounded to the mech because maybe his foot got severed, or maybe the connection between his foot and the mount got severed. So who knows? I bought this used. The seller claims it was never opened. So perhaps the seller is a hypocrite. That's a contradiction of product descriptions. But he seems to be mounted in the correct slot, or near the correct slot. I mean, what I've done thus far is sufficient. It doesn't need to be perfect, but the statue's assembled. All three soldiers are showcased with the statue. So does this hunk of plastic, or do these hunks of plastic merit $104 by themselves? If you're an avid Titanfall fan, then I believe so. However, if you detest and disdain the Titanfall video game, then you may not be fond of these statues. But this statue has merit from my perspective, since I love video game statues. This statue greatly appeals to my niche interests. So if you found this video to be marvelous, have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Oh, finally, just to give you a synopsis of how to assemble the Titanfall statue. Take the soldiers that are now mounted and place their pegs into their corresponding peg holes. The soldiers that's looking up can be mounted to the back of the base, whereas the soldier that's crouching can be mounted to the front of the base. The enemy soldier, by default, may be rubber banded to the mech if you buy the Titanfall Collector's Edition used via Amazon. So, I hope you found this video to be stupendous. Have a marvelous day. Goodbye.